Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and we got our second sneak peek for the upcoming update, confirming the fear itself speculation based on the quote that was, hammers are going to put fear into our heroes. And we have none other than the Hulk proving himself worthy and transforming into Null, Breaker of Worlds. Now, this is really cool. There's actually a shattered world in the background, and then he just yeets the planet that he's on. And honestly, the name Breaker of Worlds, obviously a reference to, World War Hulk. Maybe not obviously a reference, but I think we're finally going to get the World Breaker, the world-shattering Hulk that we deserved, that we did not get with World War Hulk and, Maestro and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for Hulk. Really happy to see them going in the direction that I sort of predicted or speculated. The serpent has awoken from deep beneath the ocean. It would be so cool to get him as a character, but I'm not going to hold my breath for that. Giving his hammer brimming with power to this super villain. So confirmed that Hulk is staying a villain. No hella support abuse. Gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. The Breaker of Worlds. Check out the new look and abilities of this supervillain as he spreads chaos across Earth. Now, let's check out the sneak peek. Oh, I'm already halfway through. Whoops. All right, so he comes yeeting through space, gamma ray and all. He looks so cool. The fidelity on the sneak peeks lately have been very good. Boom. And he just blows up the planet. No big. It's just Hulk, baby. Just Hulk tings. You know what I'm saying? So there's actually a little bit more here. He looks really cool, like all the sort of Uru lines and the tronification looks really sick. But if you pause the video when he's looking at the hammer and he's holding onto it, and you do a little bit of detective work, dun 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 dun. I don't know why I did that. Anywho, let me go and use the burn tool, and I don't know if this makes it easier or harder to see. It actually probably makes it harder to see. What if we use the dodge tool? Yeah, no, none of these really work. Anywho, if you zoom in on the hammer, okay, and you maybe lighten it, what would make this easier to read? I really can't figure it out. Okay, that's probably the best. You can see that there's something scratched into the hammer. Dun dun dun. There's something scratched into the hammer. Is it the Hulk's phone number? No. It's T, and then there's 4 lines. Pardon the brush stroke size, giggity. But yeah. Let's try this again. T, 1, 2, 3, bruh. 3, 4. So Hulk is the next tier 4. For those of you that didn't tier 4 Moon Knight, for those of you who are saving up combat Vishanti books, it's time. Now, would I have preferred to get a speed tier 3 next? Yes, I would have. I will not make that. I will not lie or sort of, I won't admit that. I will make that known. However, we can now see a clearer pattern. It seems like the devs are planning to do a Blast Combat Universal, Blast Combat Universal, and then moving on maybe to speed back-to-back. Doing back-to-back tier 4s is reminiscent of when last year or the year before they started to do back-to-back tier 3s, like when they did Professor X tier 3, 10 Blast books, and then a couple of weeks later they did Scarlet Witch tier 3. 10 more Blast books, or when they did, Silver Surfer tier 3 and then Odin tier 3. So we've seen this pattern before with tier 3s. Now we're seeing it with tier 4s. It's obviously a strategy to make whales spend more money on packs and also spend more money on boost points to use in GBR. If it brings the game a bit more revenue, that's a good thing. I don't like the boost point RNG GBR thing, so I wish they would just bring back packs that have a couple of Vishanti books in them each. But yeah, this seems like the clear strategy for them moving forward. So we're probably going to have to wait until the next full update to see the first speed tier 4, which puts it somewhere like late September, mid to late September. So that's my guess for the first speed tier 4, for those of you wondering. because after Hulk, we should see another universal tier 4, whether that's going to be Gore or whether that's going to be someone else entirely. That's completely up in the air. I mean, assuming Gore is universal, right? He doesn't have to be universal. He can be whatever type. I'm sort of hoping for speed or combat, but yeah. So Hulk tier 4 plus the worthy Serpent World Breaker uniform. This is really exciting. And so the cool thing here, right? The multiple cool things here, but they could make this new uniform completely PvE focused. And I still think that this Thor, Immortal Thor, or sorry, this Hulk, this Hulk, not Thor, this Hulk, Immortal Hulk, could still be good for PvP. Because he's still almost good enough, and he's still a decent counter to characters like Spider-Man, right? Like speed types. Now, there aren't very many speed types in PvP these days. It's really just Spider-Man, so it's not like there's a lot going on here. But if you take him into PvP and you find a team with Spider-Man on him, okay, like he obviously cannot kill Emma Frost. There's just no way. Like I recognize that completely, right? But he's gonna take down Sentry for sure. Like Sentry's done. All right, Sentry's hanging in there. Wow, literally like 1 HP Sentry. All right. Again, we're gonna have to switch for Emma. No. We're gonna have to switch for Emma. Like, I know he couldn't kill Emma, okay? But we're gonna... Hang on. I want to get back to Hulk. Hold up. We're gonna get back to Hulk, okay? We're gonna let Spider-Man kill us. This is just a test, okay? Obviously, you wouldn't play PvP. Well, you could play PvP like this. It doesn't matter. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make is the same. So we're gonna let him kill Adam here. Sure. Okay, we're gonna let him kill Adam again. But I'm pretty sure Hulk's gonna kill him. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. All right, here we go. Hulk versus... Oh, Hulk shrinks down. Yeah! Easy, dude! Easy! Easy, dude! No question, dude! No question! As soon as Spider-Man starts creeping, he's just like... Ugh! And he just gamma blasts the shit out of Spider-Man and just deletes him. Obviously, if your Spider-Man is built differently, I don't know what build that Spider-Man had. Your results are gonna vary, of course, if your Hulk is not built like mine, etc. But like, here's the thing: he still has the tools that made him good for PvP. It's just that he doesn't do enough damage to newer characters, and he takes too much damage because they're blast types, right? Because of Emma and because of Adam, basically all combat types got yeeted out of PvP. Not just Hulk, Gilgamesh, Wolverine. They're all gone, right? But tier 4 gives you a stat bump: attack, defense, HP. So, you know, it could definitely bring him back. But that's just one option. The other he has 157,000 HPGs. The other option is they make this new uniform for PvP and PvE. This is a really good position for Hulk to be in. I do want them to make his new uniform, like I would want one of his uniforms to be really good for PvE, because I think PvP only is a little bit lonely these days for characters. Like, Adam is still good for other content. Emma can definitely be used for other content instead of PvP, so you can always later on decide to change these characters over. Another really good example is Doctor Doom. Like, a lot of people use him for PvP, absolutely, but a lot of people decide to just use him for PvE, and he's still very good. He still holds up. A year later, he's still excellent for PvE. So I am hoping that his new uniform does give him that and gives him that flexibility. It won't make him the most dominant character in the game. You're thinking like, oh, Alex, he's really good for PvP, and you want them to make him really good for PvE? Well, he's not going to be better than Iron Man, because he's not going to get that crazy uniform passive. He's probably not going to be better than Thor anyways, because he's not universal. He doesn't have type advantage in all content, right? And then as far as being the best for PvP, he's probably still not going to do very well, or he's not going to be that consistent versus a very well-built Emma or well-built Adam. I could be wrong about that, but type advantage is something that we often don't, like, we underestimate, and we don't think it's as powerful as it is. It's huge, man. Look at this. He takes almost 50% less damage from Hulk's attacks, and his attacks deal more than 50% more damage. And that's not even a maxed out type enhancement. It goes up to 60, right? So it's a really big, on top of any other defensive layers that the character has, right? So yeah, I really think that the devs have an opportunity to make a very strong tier 4 here and a very valuable tier 4, sort of like Iron Man, not exactly, because remember, when he gets tier 4, you can use all of his other uniforms. I say that knowing that all of his other uniforms are pretty bad, but it still gives you some flexibility because he has hero and villain uniforms like Iron Man. And also he's a classic, he's an Avenger. Like, there's just so many good reasons why Hulk getting tier 4 just makes so much sense. I kind of wish he had gotten tier 4 before Moon Knight. I know that some people are going to hate me for saying that, but what if, what if they had moved the Fear Itself update to being after the Avengers update, and they had moved Moon Knight's update back, and they had spent more time making the Moon Knight skills look like the show, right? Instead of these just like generic crescent moon attacks. So then we wouldn't be disappointed with Moon Knight, and then Hulk would have been closer to Iron Man because it makes sense. Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, they're all Avengers, they're all buddies, they've been in the movies, yada yada. And then we would have gotten a higher value combat tier 4 first. Because in my opinion, if he's good for PvE, if he is as good or better than Moon Knight for PvE, Hulk will be a better value pick than Moon Knight because he has all of the PvE stuff, plus he has the PvP stuff. Plus he's going to compete in ABX with Kingpin potentially as a combat villain. So he may not satisfy the combat hero category of Moon Knight, which is basically his highest value at this point, ABX, but he would satisfy another day. So he basically has everything that Moon Knight has plus all the PvP stuff. Again, that's assuming that he gets a PvE uniform. We'll have to wait and see. They may just keep the status quo and just make his new uniform even better for PvP. I don't know. But I think it's a really good opportunity to make him different, especially because they made him different here, where his damage is based on his HP. If they go back and now make his damage based on his physical attack, that would then open up some really interesting choices that the player has to make. Do I stack his HP and sacrifice some damage? Do I try to balance it? How do I build my Hulk, right? So giving players the opportunity to make tough but interesting decisions is a really important part of the RPG aspect. And I think MFF needs to get back to that a little bit more. Because as you can see, I don't have to equip any physical attack Urus at this point because he's all HP. But I would like to see that difference and that sort of decision making. But yeah, woo! Very excited for Hulk. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. This might be a day 1 tier 4 for me. I'm very excited. The credit card's shaking right now because I'm gonna be swiping. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.